we are. It's the day after the Flames' emotional win last night, the last-minute goal for a 2-1 victory. And there's probably a couple issues that need addressing, or at least fleshing out a little bit. And that's the play of the young guys. As we all saw, Sam Bennett was strong. Michael Furlan was very good. And Sean Monahan did not look right.
No, and you're right certainly about Monahan, and he just seemed a little bit off. He wasn't involved physically like he was. So, Bob Hartley and the rest of them could say everything's fine, everything's wonderful, it's peachy, he's fresh again, and all that kind of. He certainly wasn't yesterday. It'll be interesting to see today. He probably won't skate, and we'll be getting the same kind of jargon that we've been getting for 3 or 4 days now.
Yeah, and it's interesting that Monahan, clearly not at 100%, it affected the entire line. The line was not good. They got eaten alive by the Sedins. That's not what we expected.
No, it's not what we expected, but from a Calgary perspective, you look at the fact that their number one line, which we all thought would have to be dominant in this series for them to have a chance, didn't perform, and they still came away with a victory. Johnny Gaudreau started to show a little pep in the third period, but Yuri Hudler was basically anonymous throughout the game. And Monahan, as we said, looked like he was struggling. But it was more than offset by Michael Furlan pasting Alex Burrows every time he got a chance, pancaking him 3 or 4 times, and Mr. Bennett showing like he'd been playing playoffs forever.
And the thing about Bennett, too, is here's a kid who's an above-average skater, and he's played less than 20 games this year, and it looked like a guy with super fresh legs, where everyone else, they've had the wear and tear of 6 months on them, and he looked fresh, and Furlan was very strong. And maybe the most impressive thing about Furlan was after he got that penalty, which wasn't a smart penalty, he came back and he wasn't shy, and he resumed his pasting of the hosts.
They both said at the end of the game, after the game, that the veterans that they were playing with, the guys on the bench, they kept encouraging them and kept pushing them forward, and they gave a lot of credit to those guys for settling them down and helping them make that transition into playoff hockey, which, let's face it, is galaxies different than the regular season.
Possibly lost a little bit in the heroics of the young guys was the play of Jonas Hiller.
Yep.
He might have been a bit of a question mark, or
no
going
question,
in, but he was fantastic.
He's never quite convincing in making a save, shall we say, but if you make enough of them, that's all that really matters.
Yeah, Verbata and Daniel Sedin totaled 12 shots on him, and he didn't let in a single one. So
no. And now all the pressure's on Vancouver, because you certainly don't want to go back to that hornet's nest in Calgary down 2 games.